Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a bonus reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Capricorn, I hope you're doing well. This is a special bonus singles love reading, and it was inspired by my friend Stephanie over at I Scry with Steph on YouTube. Very highly recommend that you follow her and subscribe to her page. She's a wonderful psychic and medium artist, tarot reader, oracle reader. I literally can't say enough good things about her. I don't know her personally, but I feel like I do. We've talked on the phone, and she's just a magical human being, and I hope to meet her someday. But she was the one that said to me, why don't you do love readings? I think you'd be good at it. And I was like, I don't know. Yes, I'll do love readings. I don't know why I don't do love readings. So, and she's also a fellow Capricorn. So for your reading on the desk, for this series of love readings, I have this beautiful labradorite crystal, which is usually for psychic harnessing, but it reminds me of a peacock feather. And I have it here to remind you of your inner and your outer beauty. So for this reading, I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle. And for the base spread, I'm going to use the White Witch Tarot, which is only Major Arcana cards. And then the OG, the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot for the clarifiers for the reading. This is for Capricorn. Capricorn. What messages do you have for Capricorn? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, you got Fork in the Road. Fork in the Road, number 13, which corresponds to the Death card in the Major Arcana of the Tarot, Scorpio energy. Fork in the Road. So this could signify that you have a lot of choices, that there is an issue of directionality, that maybe you're confused as to where to move next. We can see here there's so many animal energies, and this is a different feeling than a lot of the other cards in this deck, because it has a softer, kind of more sultry, misty, murky color palette. So it's very earthy, very in keeping with your sign, but even the background seems unclear. So there could be things that are a little unclear for you in terms of your love life. Maybe you are finding it difficult to ask Spirit, manifest the person that you want. And I understand that too, because it's kind of a weird thing, manifestation. It's like, what if I say I want this, 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 and this in a person, and I get exactly what I want? And maybe that's not a good thing, because I forgot all these other attributes, right? It's how do we ask? How do we ask for our person? I'm still trying to figure it out. But what I've surmised is that when you start to say things like, there's this meme on TikTok. Oh God, I wish Spirit hadn't given it to me, but now it's in my head. There's this meme going around on TikTok right now of this girl. I don't know if she was saying it seriously or saying it in jest, but she said, I'm sure you guys have heard it, I'm looking for a guy in finance, 6'5". Wait, no. I'm looking for a guy in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes. But the way she says it is like extra obnoxious, and that's what makes it catchy and funny. But it's like, I asked myself this morning, am I looking for a guy in finance that's 6'5"? Like, it's so specific. right? And you know what? If that's what she wants, I hope she gets that someday, right? You know, who am I to say that you can't have that? But when we're asking and when we're manifesting, it can be a confusing process. And so I'm smiling. I find myself smiling through this, though. So I don't see you racking your brain about it. It's just, you know, maybe you've had some experiences in the past that were, you know, just not your cup of tea, and you're just kind of exploring, what is your cup of tea? What is it that you care about and want in another person? You know, what are you bringing to the table, is what Spirit just said. Not to accuse you of anything, but just, it's like a question that you may be having. You know, what do I bring to the table, and how can somebody complement what I bring to the table? 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. The first energy, it makes so much sense what just came out. The first energy is your energy. The second is your potential person. And the third is advice from Spirit. And you got an extra card at the end that I will show you in one moment. Oh gosh. I don't know what it is. Your spirit guides or my spirit guides are being kind of funny in your reading today, which is good, right? Some of the readings were really heavy because sometimes love readings is not always about who am I going to meet, who am I going to find. It's about how can we love ourselves, right? And I can never predict when that's going to come out. Sometimes that's why I'm like, oh, should I do love readings? But you know what? I'm just channeling a message. I'm giving it the context of love. You like how I did that? The context of love. But the message is what the message is. But oh, that's beautiful. But I do find that whoever is here right now energetically with me has a good sense of humor and a firm footing. Like, you know who you are. And I feel that confidence. And you may not know what you want, but you know who you are. And I like that. That is a very attractive quality, by the by. What first came out as the extra card, and I'm going to take this with the fork in the road, is the High Priestess, which is so interesting. Pisces energy. High Priestess is usually the one knows all, says nothing, who can read the energy of a room. High Priestess sits at the veil between worlds and can negotiate those two spaces of what's going on in the material world in front of her. Can also, it's divine feminine energy, but can talk about anybody. And what's going on in the spiritual world, what's going on in the spiritual realms. So you may have some strong spiritual gifts that you are focusing on right now, and maybe that's why you're not currently in like a love scenario, because you're just focusing on yourself, which is fabulous. It's interesting though, because in this card, I mean, there's a lot of divine feminine references here with the kind of womb space, but I'm more drawn to like this, whatever this is, these wispies. In one reading, maybe it was the Pisces reading, it reminded me of like a dandelion, and we like blow on it and our wishes go out. But for you, I see this as being at an air show and the trail that the jets leave at an air show. So you could be going to an air show. That is so random, but that's what I see. You know what it is? Remember when I went like this? The jets or the planes that do the skywriting. That's so bizarre, but I see that it's almost as if maybe you will be driving somewhere, or you will be somewhere where you will see skywriting, and there may be a message in that skywriting for you. So keep an eye out for that. Skywriting. You don't often see skywriting, so if you see it, you'll know. It's not going to resonate for everybody, but it could resonate for somebody, and I want to know about it. Please tell me. Please come back and tell me if you see skywriting. Take that as a synchronicity from spirit. But they're asking you to really draw upon your spiritual gifts at this time. If anything, to just guide you and comfort you, was the word that I just heard. Comfort you. That the person that you are attracting will appreciate your spiritual gifts. You know, because that's something, I am single, and sometimes I worry about that, because this is kind of just like a weird, I mean, more people are into tarot now than they ever have been, I feel, openly at least, but it's kind of a weird intro. Like, yeah, I work in this job, in my day job, and on the side I read tarot, and I can hear spirit talk to me, and I get these psychic flashes. I mean, that's kind of, you know, you have to meet a special person that kind of aligns with that, right? So whatever your spiritual gifts are, the person that you will be with will understand that. Spirit wants me to tell you that. But we are at an impasse. And how do I know that we're at an impasse? Because you got the Hanged Man. I don't know that any of the other signs so far got the Hanged Man, Capricorn. But I see you in this kind of stuck place, which, I mean, what a synchronicity here. Fork in the road and the Hanged Man. But the Hanged Man is special because, well, one, it's also a Pisces energy along with Virgo, but it talks about kind of putting ourselves up in the tree of knowledge, giving ourselves some perspective on a situation, because we may be too close to have clarity. Like you're right up against the wall and you can't see the way out because you're right up against it. So when we take steps back away from it, we can see the way out. I feel as though somebody's spirit guides are kind of trying to come in, but it's ever so slight, ever so slight. This, I can see here, it's like trying to reach through the sands of time, right? This is kind of like hourglass feeling. So you could be looking at or understanding that all things in divine timing, that could be a concept that is becoming really relevant to you. You could be looking back on moments in your life and thinking, oh, you know, if I hadn't gone to that thing, I wouldn't have met that person, and then this wouldn't have happened. You could be having conversations like that in your head. What's clarifying it, though, is the Emperor in the reverse. I was laughing earlier because when I saw this, I heard I want to meet a guy in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes. I don't know if this Emperor has blue eyes, but 6'5", trust fund, finance. I mean, it was, in my mind, it was hilarious. But you got this card in the reverse. So if this is your energy, or if this is what you are trying to attract, or you've attracted in the past, it's almost like you're not looking for this archetype anymore. That I actually don't feel like it's your energy. I don't feel your energy on this at all. I feel as though there could have been an Emperor in your life that was, you know, maybe that person put work ahead of you, and it caused you to just kind of retreat away from dating for a while, as you thought that this person was, which, you know, who wouldn't want an Emperor, right? I've dated a lot of Emperors. I've dated a lot of people in this archetype, but there are a lot of setbacks to that kind of archetype because it's about control, right? And it can be very domineering. It can be very money focused. And if, you know, some people say that money makes the world go round, but that's just an opinion. This is confirming to me. 7 of Wands. I asked for a clarifier. You're blocking this person. 7 of Wands is about having attained a stronghold. Like we've surmounted this land, and now it's ours, but because it's ours, we have to protect it. So it's like Spirit is telling me that you're protecting what you have from this character, whoever that is. You're blocking them. You could like actually be blocking them on your phone, on social media, which is your prerogative. Absolutely. Block anybody that doesn't serve your best and highest good. 1000%. But it's caused you a lot of pause. You're in a place of pause, just like this fork in the road. It's getting kind of dark, so sorry, I'm just gonna turn on a light. Nope, sorry. So we're at this pause point. Your person, your potential person, got the Judgment card, number 20 in the Major Arcana. Judgment is all about making a judgment call, but it's also about answering the call of Spirit. So your person could be, their spiritual gifts could be at the forefront right now, or their gifts. They might not call them spiritual gifts. They might just think they're gifts. But it's kind of a call to action for your person right now. They're being gently nudged back onto their path, onto their path of their life's blueprint, like their destined path of how they're supposed to contribute to the world in their own little piece of the world. We all contribute in our own little piece of the world. And if you really think about all the good that you've done in your life, whether on a large scale or a small scale, that causes a ripple effect. You being kind to one person causes a ripple effect, I guarantee you. And the opposite is also true. So this person is looking at, kind of searching the space of their mind and looking at all the people I feel as though that they've affected in their life, and kind of trying to find their path. And I don't necessarily see this as related to love in particular. So, but eventually it will kind of lead to that, because it's almost like when a person starts to recognize their own value, then they want to be able to share that with others, right? Like if you feel really crappy about yourself and you don't feel worthy, you're not going to be wanting to look for a healthy relationship. The relationship that you will bring in will be codependent, because you're probably going to attract somebody who also doesn't feel worthy. And that's kind of a recipe for disaster. It's clarified for your person by the King of Pentacles. So they also could be working on themselves, protecting their assets, working on their assets, their finances, their resources. This is a really crucial point for them too. This is why they also got the fork in the road, because they could be looking to change a career. I don't know if this is your potential love interest is somebody you already know, but if they are looking perhaps to change their career, it could be a big move for them. It's important, right? Like even in a love reading, when we look at these kinds of things, unfortunately, a lot of people wrap up their career with their identity. And it was certainly the case for me with some people that I've dated in my past, and I'm sure as you have as well, that if somebody's whole purpose for being is the title that they have at their job, you know, it can really skew somebody's perspective, because all their self-worth comes from that external place. And so, I mean, really think about it, right? If you are the partner, I'm not saying that this is across the board, but I've just, like, we watch reality TV, which is not, it's all scripted, but when you have a partner that is really like heavily ambitious, like it's to the point where it's their full drive, it's just everything, then the partner has to compromise so much of who they are to support that their person, right? So this is Spirit's just giving me this example right now, how something like career can greatly affect a love situation. I mean, these kinds of things have started lovers as business partners and have ended marriages because of work. The World card and the Page of Wands. I'm just covering this up because there's a lot of imagery in this one. The World card in reverse and the Page of Wands in reverse. Your person is trying to close out a cycle for sure, and they are not really ready, unfortunately, at this time to take a step forward towards you. But to that, I will say, you are also not ready. You are also not ready to take a step forward. People are just unsure right now. It doesn't mean that it won't eventually happen with your person, but you're both in a place of speculation. But what's really beautiful, and this is kind of Spirit's way of saying, keep the faith, is the Star. Spirit's advice, Spirit's comment on this reading is the Star. The Star is healing and wish fulfillment. Wishes coming true, wishes coming in for you. And it's clarified by, if I can just do it like this, sorry, because, you know, they're in the Garden of Eden. The Lovers. The Lovers and the Star. This is ooey gooey. It's spectacular. In divine timing, your wishes will come true. The Lovers talks about divine partnership and divine union, and it also talks about choice. Making a choice. It's all about the crucial choice. And Spirit is saying focus on yourself. Focus on your hopes, wishes, and dreams. This is the choice point right now. Because the right person will come into alignment with all of those things. So I'm going to read from the book, Fork in the Road, number 13. Fork in the road. Time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. Every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. What will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. You've reached a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To open up to the possibility of love, or to remain isolated, to go deeper and commit to mutual passion, or to walk away? This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do, invest, and give. Then choose. You cannot make a wrong choice. If you move forward with relationship, know that it will be based in truth and authenticity. You will have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone, or ending things because you're afraid of the intensity of genuine connection. All roads lead to the lessons you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on the path to a truer experience of the heart. That's your reading, Capricorn. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you.